And I'm Jake, and this is Neverland Navigation Radio, where we wish you a very happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And in celebration...
Don't get pinched.
Don't get pinched. Wear some green. Of course, if you visit the Neverland Navigation Etsy shop, you can get yourself some very swanky St. Patrick's Day green t-shirts, and just message the Etsy shop and say, I want to see the St. Patrick's Day designs. Yeah, because there's a bunch of fun ones to choose from. But it's like a speakeasy.
Yeah.
You gotta say the password.
If you consider the Lucky the Dinosaur one, this is my Lucky shirt with featuring Lucky the Dinosaur, which I'm wearing right now, a St. Patrick's Day design.
Oh, yes.
Then that's on there, and that's something you could get. And then there's another St. Patrick's Day design that I've done this year.
Yes, and there's plenty of green, green stuff to be had, so no excuses not to be, donning your green apparel. All right, that being said, today we are going to be discussing some very fun St. Patrick's adjacent content.
Adjacent, yeah, cool.
Yes, we're going to do some Armchair Imagineering, which is very fun. It's been a minute, so I'm excited to hop into that.
Always fun.
Always a good time. And we've got the luck of the Irish on our side this week. So, that being said, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Are you Irish at all?
Not even a little bit.
You're full Italian.
Hey. Hey.
Okay.
I got marinara for blood. I've got lasagna noodles for skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a mixed background, so I do have some Irish in my blood. I do.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So you're actually, you're in the conversation here.
Oh, I think we're both in the conversation because it's about a fun holiday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, of course. But
we won't talk about politics too much.
No.
Irish politics, I mean.
Thank God. I'm not ready to discuss Irish politics.
We will, very briefly touch on Irish politics.
We will?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. All right, everybody.
He's not ready.
Come for the Disney fun. Stay for the Irish politics.
Yeah.
If you've joined us on this episode today, and it's your first episode, welcome to the show. If you would like to help to support the show so we can keep making more episodes, you can do that by subscribing wherever you listen and by leaving us a podcast review. It helps us out a lot, so we'd really appreciate it.
It does. And did you know that if you book your own trip to Disney World or Universal or a cruise, that in that price you pay, you're also paying the commission for your personal travel agent, whether you use one or not? It is baked in. Did you know?
I didn't know.
It's crazy.
You're telling me now?
It is. When I honestly found out years ago, I was mind blown about this.
Yeah.
So if you're going to pay $4,000 for your cruise, it's the same. The price of your travel agent's commission is already baked into that price, whether you're using one or not.
Right.
So you might as well use one. And I am a personal travel agent, a free-to-you travel agent. It helps a lot, even if you're an expert in booking your own travel, because you've got somebody in your corner if something goes wrong. You've got somebody to do the annoying things that you don't want to do, like get up to make dining reservations at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Or have to call to make a request and wait on hold and stuff like that.
The least magical parts.
Right. And then in addition to having somebody to do those things for you, I also offer my clients a free gift of custom trip t-shirts from our 5-star Etsy shop.
Ooh,
that I give them as a thank you for letting me help them book and giving me the opportunity to claim that commission that you're paying for anyway.
Yes.
From the place you're going. So
do you scroll social media and you see all the people in their cute theme park shirts and you think to yourself, I wish I had cute theme park shirts? No need to scroll envious anymore.
Yeah.
You can get in on the fun and support a local small business.
Support small. It's also custom, so you can get a ridiculous shirts if you want. You could get shirts that have nothing to do with your trip if you want. It's completely up to you.
Yeah.
If you're interested in this, please email me, morgan@neverlandnavigation.com, so we can talk about your future trip plans.
All right. Are you ready to get into the Irish fun of it all?
I am.
Let's jump into the conversation that is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow
Yeah.
that is the beginning of every episode of Neverland Navigation Radio.
The end of the rainbow tunnel, you say?
Oh, I like it.
Because we're in Epcot.
Because
Do you guys get that?
Did you get the Journey into Imagination reference that
it's
Morgan
really
made?
old. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for those of you that don't get it.
Yeah, it's from the 80s.
Yeah,
so you're
in
gonna
the
have
80s,
to think about
just
it.
explain.
Yeah. So on the second floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be a rainbow tunnel.
There used to be a rainbow tunnel that was like a walk through, light up kind of experience. It was very fun.
As part in the Imagination Pavilion that we are big fans of the idea of.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Well, it's tough competition though because now it's a DVC lounge, which is very cool.
Is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's
It's a waste of a very cool space.
Didn't it used to be a Chase credit card member photo op place?
They passed the lounge around.
Yeah, to whoever's paying the highest bid, I guess.
Yep.
So I don't know when this comes out. This will be over. So, but I will say during 2026 Festival of the Arts, you could see the Rainbow Tunnel in the Odyssey Pavilion.
That was pretty cool.
Like it was like what was it done with?
A projection.
A projection.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was very cool for those of us that knew what it was. There's a famous picture of Michael Jackson standing in this tunnel.
Indeed.
If you haven't seen it, maybe Google it.
It's pretty cool.
It's cool. It was a very
probably
cool
my
thing.
favorite picture of Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael Jackson and Epcot.
And maybe my favorite tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
Because
hey,
there's not a lot of competition.
No, there is.
Okay.
There's great. Disney has the best tunnels of all time.
Yeah, you're right. Are
you joking?
Okay.
The primeval diorama in the Disneyland tunnel. Oh my god. The People Mover tunnel through Space Mountain. Iconic tunnel.
True.
They're the king of tunnels.
I wasn't really thinking of that as being a tunnel, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, you're right. You're thinking more of
circular.
Like you're thinking a classic tunnel.
I am.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, those are pretty boring.
Usually.
Yeah, mundane.
Disney has done some fun ones. We've talked about one of the other
10 tunnels.
Yeah, okay. Coming to you soon. All right.
All right. No, let's get into Ireland.
Wow. So this episode, what we're doing is we are talking about Epcot.
Yeah.
And we are talking about
all of that was for Epcot.
You got it, right? Rainbow Tunnel. I said it.
Come on. And now we're done.
We are talking about Ireland as a concept for a pavilion.
I love it.
So this was actually a possibility at one point.
So you've told me that you've done research about basically the kicking around amongst Disney of the idea of maybe doing an Ireland pavilion in Epcot. Now, a lot of countries have had this happen.
Yes.
This is not an Ireland exclusive.
No, and I get into that a little.
Oh my gosh, you do?
Yeah.
I was going to say we could literally do a whole
And we
episode
should. So should I not get into it?
No, you can get into it a little bit.
All I'm going to do
dip
in this episode is dip my toe.
Okay.
And then if we want to go like full in on it, I did write down in our Neverland Navigation podcast notes that
internal
we should
document.
Yeah, I'm leaking sensitive information.
Stop it.
That we should do a World Showcase history episode.
Oh, fascinating.
I think it would be fun.
Great idea.
My research wound up expanding as it does, because if I was talking to you about them thinking about doing an Ireland pavilion, it would be like 3 sentences, and that would be that. Like you said, it happens. The Ireland one didn't actually make it that far.
Yeah. That happens a lot.
But the information I found led to something else that led to something else that's all kinds of ties in. So we'll get into it.
Okay.
So I will start with Epcot opened on October 1st, 1982, as we know, and it started with 9 nations of the world: Mexico, China, Germany, Italy, the American Adventure, Japan, France, the United Kingdom, and Canada.
Iconic lineup.
Yes, but 9. So the original dedication materials on the opening day broadcast and early park maps explicitly promised a phase 2 expansion in the spaces between the pavilions, which are now still largely filled with some landscaping or temporary stuff, you know, like when
filler.
Yeah, I can think of like where they put the L'Haim thing every year. Like there's nothing really there.
Right.
You know?
It's like a
that whole outpost area, crazy.
the African outpost.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
There's literally also just stuff that's completely like parking lots or storage sheds.
Yes, but like even that you can see as you're walking, you can see like
the gaps.
The gaps. That's a gaps exactly.
Yep.
So they were intended to be like waiting rooms for future nations, right? And advertisements in 1982 heralded the imminent arrival of Israel, Equatorial Africa.
Don't forget about Equatorial Africa.
And Spain.
And Spain.
So they specifically called out those three.
I can picture the fonts that they used for those countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, we're here, it's 2026, and those three still do not exist.
Nope, we've got weird, like a baby pavilion for Africa. Not even a baby pavilion. That's too generous.
No, yeah.
Like a weird themed corner for Africa.
Right.
But the Equatorial Africa pavilion originally was going to be wild.
Yeah, okay.
Wild. Like have a full theater show and all kinds of crazy stuff.
I'm sure.
Inside.
And that's obviously not going to happen anymore because we have Africa represented in Animal Kingdom now.
By a full land.
By a full land, yeah.
Right.
The ones that did get added, as I'm sure you know, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway, is Morocco was added in 1984 and Norway was added in 1988.
Yeah.
Those are the only two that made it through all of the
survivors.
Yeah, the planning and the budgeting and stuff like that. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is what get me really like, again, I'm going to dip my toe into this, but we can get into it on
Is this the political stuff we've been waiting for?
Okay. Yes, a little.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. To understand why Ireland does not exist as a standalone pavilion and you'd have to understand that unlike Magic Kingdom, where attractions were funded entirely by Disney based on intellectual property.
Got it.
Yeah, but also so in Magic Kingdom they did have a lot of funding by private sponsors.
Yeah.
But if not, it was intellectual property. But Epcot was trying to get actual countries to pay the money to be here.
Right, like the government.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind.
I know. It's like a World's Fair.
Yes. And that was the plan. That's what they said, you know?
Yeah.
World Showcase was built on the participant sponsor model, and this model is key to unlocking the mystery of all these lost pavilions.
Mm-hmm.
Disney's strategy in getting the World Showcase going relied on foreign governments, which is what Jake was just saying, or major national corporations to underwrite the costs of construction and operation, like entirely.
Right.
The estimated cost to design and build a pavilion in 1982 ranged from $30 million to $45 million. Yeah. And in exchange, the sponsor received a permanent tourism advertisement staffed by its own citizens via the Cultural Representative Program.
Yeah. Which continues to this day.
Yes. The ones that made it into the negotiations and into the advertisements, this is the like, I'll get into it a little bit, is Israel, which was probably the one that made it the closest without making it.
Gotcha.
It was advertised in billboards in the park in 1982. An agreement was signed in 1980 with the Israeli government.
Yeah.
However, the project was quietly canceled due to a combination of security concerns, fears that the pavilion could become a target for protests, and the shifting political landscape of the Middle East. As far as Equatorial Africa goes, it intended to be located between China and Germany, obviously, because that's where the outpost is now.
Yeah.
And it led to a model featured in the Epcot opening broadcast. Did you see that? Is that how you knew?
No.
Okay. It failed because of political unrest in the region, which made securing a stable coalition of sponsoring nations impossible. And then eventually a South African company offered to step in. Disney decided to reject the sponsorship to avoid any association with the things going on.
Okay, got it. They were like, no, thank you.
Right. Spain which is these three were the ones that were super close. Negotiations with the Spanish government reached an advanced stage, but the project collapsed when a new administration took power in Spain and refused to honor the financial commitments of its predecessors.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, that one's a little bit more cut and dry, you know?
Yep.
There were rumors of an Ireland pavilion, but there was no concept or announcement. So it didn't get as close as those three.
Yeah.
Two primary factors were sponsorship and the geopolitical climate of the 1980s. So the first thing was the lack of a unifying sponsor, because in the early 80s, the Republic of Ireland was not the Celtic Tiger economy that it would become in the late 90s. The government likely lacked the disposable capital to fund a $30 million theme park attraction in Florida, which left the burden on a corporate sponsorship.
Sure.
The most obvious candidate was Guinness, but in the 1990s and 2000s, Guinness became part of a massive conglomerate and could have afforded it then, but in the 80s, they would not have had the money to do that.
Right, that makes sense. So it was a struggle time for Disney.
Yeah. The geopolitics of the Troubles was something that was happening in the 80s. And
right.
This is a big reason, because they had decided to put part of the Irish culture like into the UK pavilion.
Right.
So then it's like, I don't know if confusing is the right word, but at very least,
it complicates it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Adds a logistical complication.
Yes, totally. Yeah. So that it still does have that in the UK. You still have a part Ireland representation.
But like in a gift shop.
In a gift shop in Rose and Crown, they decided to put a few things that are like, they sell Guinness in there and they sell Harp Ale, which are Irish. I know it's so little.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know. It does seem kind of rude, but
it's like, here's just a smattering of Ireland.
But in the 80s, I guess they were having issues with politics in the sense that the UK owned part of Ireland and didn't own part of Ireland.
Yep.
And so Disney doesn't want to be the center for any political.
Oh, so you think that like played
a factor.
A factor.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. In addition to the fact that Ireland didn't have the money to pay for this.
Right.
Or the Northern Republic of Ireland. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the part the UK doesn't have.
Right.
Yeah. That's like their own country.
Yeah. So that's the reason that we never got an Ireland. And I think we won't get an Ireland in EPCOT, but I do have a reason for saying that. And I feel a little surprised that we don't know all of this information that I'm about to go through already. But I found out while researching this that Raglan Road in Disney Springs is wildly authentic. Okay, did you know this? I'm going to go into it, but...
Okay, tell me.
So, Raglan Road is an Irish pub and restaurant, and it's considered by historians to be like an Ireland pavilion, like the Ireland pavilion that Epcot never built. Okay, it unlike Rose and Crown, which is a Disney Imagineering facsimile of British architecture built by Florida contractors, Raglan Road possesses a realism that almost borders on obsessive. The venue is owned by our Irish partners John Cook and Paul Nolan, which own Great Irish Pubs Florida Inc., not Disney. And here's the thing that blew my mind. The restaurant was built in Ireland and shipped to Florida. Did you know this?
What?
Okay, to ensure the pub was not just a theme park version of Ireland, the owners had the entire interior constructed in Ireland by Irish craftspeople. This included the millwork, the bars, the lighting, the furniture, and the wall coverings. Once completed, the components were disassembled, packed into 14 massive shipping containers, and transported across the Atlantic to be reassembled to create the Raglan Road kind of experience.
Wow.
Isn't that insane? So it's more authentic than the restaurants in the pavilions in Epcot.
Sounds like by a margin.
Yeah.
That is really, really cool.
Very, very impressive, I think.
When we were talking about Ireland this episode in the context of Walt Disney World, I knew that Raglan Road would have to come up, obviously. I love Raglan Road.
Yeah.
I've had really good experiences there. I did not know any of that, but I have always been enchanted by the atmosphere and the decor of Raglan Road, and I feel like that is a really good reason that I like it so much. Like, it's handcrafted by Irish artisans and imported,
I had no idea how deep it went. And
that is really impressive, huh?
Maybe it's on the menu and we just didn't read it because we were caught up talking, or something like that. We've been in a few times.
Setting up to film.
Yeah, setting up to film.
Yeah.
The time we went and filmed, the hostess that sat us was trying to give us some fun fact, but it had nothing to do with this and wound up being untrue.
Right.
So that's disappointing. I wish their people were saying, hey, this stuff, whatever. I'm going to go on because this isn't it. I'm not done.
It's also, to defend that cast member for a second.
Yeah, okay.
Just for 1 second. It's very easy to try to Google something about Disney history and to be given the wrong information. That happens a lot. And it's not like Disney trains the cast members about the histories of the locations necessarily.
No, I know. But this isn't a Disney cast member, right? This is somebody that works for this company.
Oh, the Raglan Road
And
people.
I'm not blaming her specifically. I think that they might
the company should.
They should coach their hosts on here's some fun facts about our very, very authentic restaurant that you might want to share with customers.
That would be really cool. Yeah. It would be like a great touch that would complement how much attention went into the details of the building of the restaurant.
If you're going to do that, then, if you're going to do all this, let people know.
I will say the staff at the restaurant to me has always had the atmosphere of just a welcoming, friendly staff. But I think what you're saying, pointing out some of these details would really enhance the vibe of the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would add value to me.
Yes, totally.
Because to know I'm not just in a restaurant that's kind of dedicated to Ireland, like everything else, a lot of the things you go to.
I just assumed it was themed.
Exactly.
Like a themed restaurant.
Like everything else.
No, this is the Morocco Pavilion.
Yes.
Where the King's Tiler.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't exactly, the King's Cobbler or something made the tiles for everything and designed all the mosaics.
Right.
That is a really authentic experience, but most of Epcot is not that.
Right.
So it would be safe to assume that Raglan Road and Disney Springs right down the way would be, chill. But that is fascinating. I had no idea.
Super fascinating. And I'm not done.
Oh.
So Frank's Bar, which is the venue's center, was one of the venue's centerpieces. It's Frank's Bar.
Yeah.
And that was imported from a pub in, Tipperary. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that.
No idea.
The bar is approximately 120 years old and is designed in a shop style. This style reflects a specific era in Irish history when pubs couldn't survive on drink sales alone and operated dual businesses, often functioning as the local grocer, postmaster, or undertaker.
Oh.
So the bar retains its antique drawers and hardware, which are physical artifacts of the Irish social history.
Shut Oh.
I know. Fascinating.
I want a tour of Raglan Road.
Now I want to go back and just see all the stuff.
Yeah.
And appreciate it.
And
you know what I mean?
And make an Instagram reel.
Yeah, well, we should.
Sounds fun.
Raglan Road transcends the typical theme restaurant label through its rigorous adherence to cultural authenticity in operations as well. The gastropub revolution, when it opened the restaurant opened in 2005. The menu was developed by an Irish celebrity chef named Kevin Dundon, who remained a partner until 2017.
Cool.
His goal was to shatter the stereotype of Irish food as boiled, bland pub grub, and he introduced a modern menu emphasizing fresh ingredients, seafood, and sophisticated presentation, mirroring the actual gastropub revolution that was occurring in Dublin at the time. Dishes like the fancy titbits and braised beef with colcannon elevated the cuisine far beyond standard theme park fare. And then, the statue in front of the restaurant. This is the Patrick Kavanagh connection is a deep cut for literary fans, but the statue in front of the restaurant is of poet Patrick Kavanagh. The venue is named after his famous poem, which is called On Raglan Road, a tale of unrequited, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Love, that was later set to music by the Dublineers.
Yeah.
The statue is a replica of the one sitting along the Grand Canal in Dublin, complete with a bench for guests to sit on. It's a direct, tangible link to Irish literary history that goes unnoticed by thousands of tourists every day.
Yeah, including me. No idea. How fun.
We didn't know who that was.
He's St. Patrick.
Yeah. In strictly functional terms, Raglan Road is the Ireland Pavilion. It fulfills the dining, shopping, and entertainment functions of a World Showcase Pavilion.
Yeah.
Because it also has live bands that are flown in from Ireland and professional step dancers.
Right.
But it operates with a higher degree of realism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, authenticity.
Totally. Absolutely. So that's it for Raglan Road, but I'm so impressed that, I feel like I'm going to go out and go back.
Yeah, honestly, scrap our plans for this episode. For St. Patrick's Day this year, we're talking about how much we appreciate Raglan Road.
Yeah.
How cool. They've got a bomb.
I wish I had known to appreciate it. They really have.
Right next door.
I would go to that fish and chips restaurant, which is also owned by the same people, and it's called Cooks of Dublin. Yeah. I would go there every time I go to Disney Springs. It's my favorite thing at Disney Springs.
We need to go to Disney Springs.
My mouth is watering.
Sounds good. They've got bread pudding.
Yeah.
At Raglan Road.
They have bread pudding at Raglan Road that they make when you order it, and it takes a while to come out to you, and it's incredible.
So good.
I think a lot of people think of bread pudding as just the restaurants getting rid of day old bread.
Yep.
And it's just been sitting there and it's gooey.
Sopping.
And
Yes.
This is not like that.
It is freshly risen.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yep.
It's incredible. I can't even begin.
Their food there is just so good.
I went for the Raglan Road brunch not that long ago, but also not in the last couple months. Okay. And it was incredible also.
Really? Yeah, we really enjoyed it when we went as well.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for Raglan Road. I do have another little teeny Irish Disney history tidbit. We have mentioned this before, but for a brief window at the turn of the millennium, Ireland got a major attraction at EPCOT, and this was the era of the Celtic Tiger, when the Irish economy was booming and Irish culture, specifically dance, was exploding globally thanks to the phenomenon of river dance.
Heck yeah.
The show that EPCOT brought to the people was called The Best of Michael Flatley's Lord of the Dance.
Incredible.
Yeah, in an effort to capitalize on the cultural phenomenon, Disney signed a contract with Michael Flatley's production company to bring a version of his arena show to the American Gardens Theater.
Okay, so for context, this was a time in America where there was a revolution of popularity of Irish step dancing.
It was everywhere.
It was on television shows.
Yeah.
It was in live shows coming to a city near you.
Yeah.
They were selling CDs of the soundtrack to the show. It was just the entertainment. It was how Stomp had a big, and things like Stomp, the Blue Man
Group,
Jam, all these similar things, and Epcot got into that too. Don't worry, they dipped their toe into that as well.
Sure,
but this is an example of that, a fad of entertainment. That not to be reductive, because it is culturally significant and very impressive. Not saying that it's not, but this is such an interesting little, moment in Epcot history, because it's an example of them dipping their toe into
what's going on right this minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
A sign of the times.
Yeah. You're right. It was everywhere. I mean, we were kids, and I just remember like
commercials.
Yeah, it was just like I shouldn't have known about this, but yeah.
It was billboards. It was everywhere.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
Yes.
So the statistics on the show is it ran for 2 consecutive summers. The second run occurred from June 18th to August 26th, 2000. The show was condensed into a high-octane 30-minute performance, performed 4 times daily, 3, 4:30, 5:45, and 7:10.
Cool.
It was included with park admission, just like all the American Gardens shows.
It's a weird little Epcot show.
Yeah, but it drew such massive crowds, the guests were advised to arrive 45 to 60 minutes early, which is shocking.
Dang, that's crazy. Gotta get good seats for the
We've had
Riverdance.
to do that to see some alternative bands play at Epcot, but yeah, Riverdance,
I love it.
especially with them playing every day.
Michael Flatley's.
Yeah.
What is this actually called? Something like that.
Michael Flatley's, the best of Michael Flatley's Lord of the Dance.
My apologies.
Yes.
Lord Michael Flatley.
Yes. And speaking of a common point of confusion among fans, it was the involvement of Michael Flatley himself.
No way.
Yeah.
Tell me.
This show was billed the best of Michael Flatley, Lord of the Dance.
Hold on, gotta Google Michael Flatley.
Leading many to believe that the Lord himself would appear on the Epcot stage.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, but he did not.
No.
No, by 1998, Flatley had retired from the lead role in the touring show to focus on his new, even more grandiose production, which was called Feet of Flames.
Right.
The Epcot shows were performed by one of the touring tropes. These were world-class professionals, many of them Irish dance champions, but the lead Lord role was played by a principal dancer, not the creator. Despite Flatley's absence, the show was a huge hit, providing the high-energy Irish entertainment, proving that the high-energy Irish entertainment had a massive draw for the Epcot demographic.
Of course, yeah. And of course, Michael Flatley's not gonna...
This was also... Go ahead. Sorry. Of course he's not. Well...
Michael Jackson's not gonna come out at Captain EO.
Yeah.
Barbie's not here.
I mean, if he came out once, it would have been cool. Like, to open it, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool, but it's ridiculous to assume that he's gonna do a show every 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Michael Flatley's gonna do a show every 30 minutes?
Yeah, you're right. He does a big deal.
Every day?
Yeah. Every day, 4 shows a day.
Maybe it's an advertising communications issue. Of course, it's a troupe of dancers from the tour or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. It's the touring group.
Let's not be silly. Everybody.
So this actually was this show was such a big deal. It was so popular that they had to, this is when they introduced the dinner package. This was the birth of the dinner package.
No way.
Yeah. The dinner, it wasn't called the same thing. So it wasn't called the dining package that we use. It wasn't called the same thing. It was
called Lord of the Dinner.
Yeah, it's right. Probably called. It doesn't say in my
Michael
notes.
Flatley's Lord of the Dinner.
That would be great.
Experience.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that.
Okay, thanks.
But I just say that. I just say that to say that it was so popular that they had to invent something to make it so they could sell something and give you front row seats. You know what I mean?
Literally.
Which is what the dining package is. You
They,
come eat your
cooked it in a
expensive meal, and then we'll let you get a guaranteed seat.
Yeah, it's like a fast pass with dinner.
It is. We've done it. We've done it once.
Yes, for Neil Patrick Harris.
We did.
Who is the step godmother of a Disney cruise ship. Bet you didn't know that.
Oh my god, well now you're gonna have to explain. That was such a funny way to say it.
One day we're gonna do the history of fairy godmothers.
Just godmothers, I think, but yeah, okay. The ships, all the cruise ships.
I can call Neil Patrick Harris a fairy. I'm
sure?
gay.
You sure can.
Yeah, a history of the godmothers
okay.
of the Disney Cruise Lines. That needs to be done.
All right.
And I guess we could also delve into the birthing ceremonies if we want.
I guess we would have to, yeah, because there's only so many ships and so many godmothers.
Yes. But yeah, we'll get into that in a future episode, so consider that a tease. And now we've heard the history of
all kinds of stuff.
Ireland
Ireland
throughout the history of Disney World. Wow. Yeah, I bet you guys
I
weren't.
just bounced all over the place, but
You got all the Ireland in, though.
mhm.
Dang, that's a lot. So we kind of also thought it would be fun to kind of imagine what it would be like if that did happen and Ireland
If they
did.
got a pavilion.
If they got a pavilion, what would it be?
Yeah.
Did you have any thoughts, like, in the abstract?
I mean, yes, of course, but my problem was I was originally planning for Jake to present his blue sky armchair Imagineering thoughts on if there was an Ireland pavilion. And then when I started researching Raglan Road, I was like, this is so detailed. My brain can't see anything else.
Yeah, it is very, like, and I will say,
Anything I thought of wasn't this intense. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, that's a true, that's a truly authentic experience, and I think
Yeah.
that's what is so magical about it. And I will say that when I was attempting to, like, come up with a concept of this, I will basically say any version of the Ireland Pavilion would basically have to have a Raglan Road
Yeah.
type experience as its cornerstone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the same way that the cornerstone of the Germany Pavilion is Beer Garden,
Right.
it would have to
Which
be...
is not owned by Disney, right?
Right.
And that's the true of a lot of, so that I think that would be fine.
I think that would be fine.
We would need to approach them, the owners of Raglan Road, and be like, okay, we would like an in-park restaurant now.
Yes, in the same...
It can be a little different. It could be a buffet.
Yeah.
Just to make it different.
Yeah, it could be different. Slightly different entertainment. Maybe like a show with a little bit more of a story would be fun for EPCOT.
I love the tap dancing though.
No, the tap dancing would still definitely be there.
Okay, good.
But we'd also have like a balladeer who told like the history of Ireland.
Oh,
or
I like
something.
that. Yeah.
And then you have the river dancing. Of course, you gotta have the step dancing.
Step dancing.
I believe is
yes.
yeah, definitely gotta have that. I think any Ireland pavilion would be lacking if it didn't have that. It's what people expect now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought though, for like architecture, like the exterior of a pavilion goes, I think Grafton Street in Dublin would be the perfect
beautiful
little square for a pavilion.
Yes.
At EPCOT.
Yes.
It's got a beautiful landmark
Wow.
at the end of it, and it's a church. It's called St. Teresa's, and that beautiful church at the end of that street would be the perfect facade for whatever show or experience would be housed within the pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, on the street, there are all of these like shops and cafes and things, and that, like, on the corner there is probably where you would want to have your big what's the name of that restaurant? Raglan Road.
Yeah.
Type experience. Like, this whole side of the street would probably be like a Raglan Road. Then there would be some type of show within the church facade at the end of the street.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, maybe that would just be, well, the real life Grafton Street in St. Dublin does also have a famous cafe called Booley's Cafe. I'm not familiar, but I came across it doing research for this. They're a cafe that's existed on Dublin's Grafton Street since 1927, and people describe it as a Dublin landmark, and it's got a really unique building that has like an Art Deco influence, and it's got stained glass windows in it, so it's like a
beautiful.
Cool... Yeah, so that would be... And they are like, they brew Irish coffee. They're
nice.
Yeah, so that would be a good that would be a good cafe location to have.
Yeah.
You would have the Raglan Road location for the full scale
And the cafe
dining.
could have like Irish coffee, but also probably could serve like Guinness.
Oh yeah.
For the drinking around the road set.
Yes, just to, like, if they didn't want to stay to drink at Raglan Road, they could. Yeah, they could easily.
Like, the cafe would be more of a quick serve, right?
More of a quick serve.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
It would also be cool if, in the same way that the Rose and Crown also has the fried fish.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
What do you mean? Oh, fish and chips?
Fish and chips.
Yeah.
The
like counter service fish and chips
So
outside.
of course the Raglan Road in the Ireland
Could also
Pavilion
have
would
that.
have to have a Cooks
Well,
of Dublin while we're here.
Yeah, but would that not be just direct competition? Where would we put this?
This would be in Epcot.
No, duh. Where in Epcot?
Yeah.
Which of the spaces?
That's a fabulous question and something I didn't really.
Yeah.
I was busy. I didn't really put.
I know.
I didn't really put.
I didn't really think about these gaps until they were mentioned, and I wonder if some of them.
What's in between? What's next to Germany, where the trains are at?
Oh, on that side of Germany, Italy.
In between Germany and Italy would be a good spot for this.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So not right by the UK.
No, I think you would want to separate
You need
it from
some
the
space. I think so too. I think you need to be like halfway around the World Showcase World.
Yes.
To like give them some,
like how Japan and China aren't right next to each other.
Yes, right, and it's smart.
It's smart, same type of vibe. Okay, I'm glad we figured that out.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what I wanted it to have as kind of the main attraction, if I were going to put one. Oh, also, I will say something really charming about this street in Dublin is that they have flower vendors that set up little flower stands and carts on the side of the street, and I think that is such a lovely. I'm struggling to find a picture, but that would be such a lovely thing to have in on a theme park street. You know
I think so too. I actually think they could sell a lot of flowers too.
I was gonna say they could definitely sell like souvenirs. Of course, you need somewhere to sell souvenirs for your pavilion, but then I do think it would be super fun to be able to buy a little arrangement of flowers, not just during Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot, but all the time.
I agree. I think that a lot of people go to Epcot for date night, like locals and pass holders. And I do. I think they would sell. That's adorable.
Yeah, they've got these beautiful little flower stands where people come and buy like arrangements of flowers, and that is so Disney to me.
It is, yeah.
Just the sight of that, and to have somebody in an apron being like "fresh flowers" in an Irish accent, of course. But I'm not gonna trouble you all with that.
Okay.
Fresh flowers for you.
Oh,
how was that? Was that good?
You did good.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, as far as I know.
I know, I did my best.
Yeah.
Sorry if that was offensive in any kind of way, but yeah.
I think that an Irish person would find it funny, not offensive.
Okay, good. Yeah. I don't want to catch the wrath of the Irish.
Yeah, that's good. They could curse you, I feel like.
Yes, and they're fighting, famously fighting Irish, you know.
When I have heard like somebody from the UK try to do an American accent, I just laugh.
Agree. I think it's funny and cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The only other thing I had that might be fun for this pavilion is in the actual facade of the church at the end of the street thing. I think that's where you would want to have the main attraction. And in the different pavilions...
This is what I couldn't get past. Go on.
The attraction?
Yeah.
So...
There's no Disney movie, right?
There's no Disney movie.
Which is weird.
Now, naturally, we both probably Googled Disney Irish movies, did we? And we both probably got The Luck of the Irish, the Disney Channel original movie.
And didn't know what it was and moved on.
It is not fertile ground for a pavilion.
Yeah.
So we are forced to think of what else is there in World Showcase pavilions, and the answer is educational concepts.
True, okay.
So Epcot being like a World's Fair, this is something that they retained from the World's Fair model, was that sometimes instead of having an attraction, you have an educational installation like a film, which we have in World Showcase quite a bit of. So I would like to propose something slightly different.
But you don't like these.
Right. So that's why this one is a walkthrough experience.
Okay.
Not a ride,
All
a big budget ride, not a film, not a circle-rama.
Now I'm imagining the Norway Pavilion where you walk through to see the lore.
A little bit of that, So you've got a historic but comedic pre-show about Ireland's history that takes place inside of... So you walk through the facade of the church.
Okay.
Then you're in a historically accurate recreation of the interior of this church with stained glass windows all around you.
Okay.
The stained glass windows come to life with funny Irish celebrities or somebody. that tells a little bit of the history of Ireland, which comes to life in the stained glass windows.
Okay.
Then you walk
Impressive.
Then you walk through a door, and now you're in modern Ireland, and they're taking you through the history of brewing Jameson or something. Very educational and about modern Ireland's enterprising. And then you take a step out of that room into the final room of the experience, which is a large room that shows the natural beauty of Ireland via 360 projection.
Okay.
I would say you would have to have some type of interactive projection experience in there, thinking the EPCOT experience or something like that, but for the natural beauty of Ireland. And I think it would have to be a 360 dome, not
when you
screens.
say interactive, do you mean like those Van Gogh art exhibit things where you when you move your hand, something moves?
I think that is the nature of the thing.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. They don't have anything like that in the parks, really.
No.
The Moana's water experience does kind of this with water, but I have been to, I think, 2 of these art exhibits where it's projection, but it somehow moves when you move.
Yes, it's a kind of adjacent to digital puppetry, which is how Turtle Talk with Crush and stuff like that operates, where there's there's a calculated response to movement with live graphic synchronization.
Okay,
which
wow.
is a very fun, cool technology.
Yeah.
And it's the latest in museum and exhibiting technology. So EPCOT being a World's Fair,
it makes sense.
They really need something like this.
Yeah.
And if the Ireland Pavilion can put up the money, it would be a great representation of their country. Now, unfortunately, that's where the fantasy ends, because this is a fantasy world and Ireland is not going to be putting up the money for this attraction.
Okay.
But still, I had so much fun imagining an Ireland Pavilion theme to Grafton Street in Dublin.
No leprechauns.
How offensive.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
No, in the pre-show, because it's going to be funny Irish celebrities, of course, doing the pre-show.
Sure.
One of them's going to do it. There's a lot more to Ireland than just leprechaun Lucky Charms. They're going to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think they're over it?
I know they're over it. What do you mean? There's nothing to be over. Of course they're over it. They're not leprechauns. But yeah, I think it's good for a passing little joke in the pre-show.
Yeah.
Or actually, you know how in the Norway Pavilion there's a statue of a troll?
Yes.
Come on, statue leprechaun. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Why not?
Yeah. If in Norway, a thing I love about Norway is the Norway Pavilion is that they go into the cultural lore, and they're okay with it. Yeah. They're, and I wouldn't mind a little bit of that here. Not like the Lucky Charms leprechaun.
No.
Obviously that didn't come from Ireland to begin with.
Right.
But whatever their lores actually are.
Yes, I'm folk
sure
tales and
they've
mythology.
Got some fun stuff.
Gaelic lore.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they have quite a bit.
Yeah.
Would be fun to have that. Totally. Maybe they could get into that in the first part of the show.
Yeah.
On the stained glass.
Yeah.
Talk about the heritage and the cultural history of Ireland. That would be very cool.
Yeah. Maybe Disney will make an Irish set movie.
Oh yeah, that would definitely
That would help.
Then they could anchor it with an attraction in the cathedral.
Right.
And that would make this pavilion very possible, I think. But until that day, we'll continue to dream and we'll think, well, maybe they will make an Ireland Pavilion one day if we get real lucky. Thanks for joining us on Neverland Navigation Radio. Wait, are we actually done?
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys would like to...
I'm done. I can't.
I think I'm done too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we squeezed enough juice out of this one.
Yeah.
This holiday. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode. If you guys would like to hear more of us and learn more about fun Disney history, destinations, travel, shopping, dining, all kinds of Disney fun theme park travel stuff, you can consume that content on our social media pages, Instagram or TikTok at Neverland Navco.
Yes, and I've already mentioned the Etsy shop and the travel agency, but please don't forget, if you are thinking about taking a trip, it just does not hurt to email me to see if I can match or beat the price that you're looking at for your next trip and get your free gift. If you're going to go on a trip anyway, you're going to spend the money, you might as well get a free gift. You might as well help out a small business. So please email me, morgan@neverlandnavigation.com.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this very fun episode. We hope you've had a fun and lucky St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
We're very busy plotting the next pavilion to come to the World Showcase, so we'll see you on our next adventure.